Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CoculesNation. My name is Secret Agent Nixon Cocules, and I'm the founder and the director of the Cocules Industry Spy Network and the CoculesNation. In preparation for a future project, I went ahead and installed two games, both of which are proprietary titles. And these are the games right here: Need for Speed Carbon and Need for Speed Most Wanted Black Edition. Yes, these are the collector's edition of the games based upon mods in which have been installed for both games. Now, if you wanted to get into modding Need for Speed games yourself and installing mods so you can enjoy the games again, or probably enjoy the games for the first time with some slight modifications, this tutorial is going to be for you today. Now, there are going to be a few things that will be required. First things first, you are going to want a wine prefix, and I have the wine prefix, which is going to be wine-carbon, which is right here. This wine prefix needs to have .NET Core Desktop Runtime 3.1 or later. And you will also need one of the MFC files, I think MFC 42. I will go into Winetricks and double check. Visual Studio C++ 6 Service Pack 4, part of VC Run 6. Basically, this is what you'll need in terms of all of the C++ stuff. But I think you just need MFC 42 and you'll be on your way. I do not know why that happened. Anyway, you'll want a wine prefix with that as well, and .NET. After you get those installed, go ahead and get three specific tools which are going to be a requirement in order to even do most of the modding for these games. And under here, you have a C# tool called a binary, which basically allows you to inject certain mods that use these end scripts, or really just .end, which are these mod scripts that you can use. So that's part of it. VLTED, or just VLTED. This basically allows you to go under the hood for each Need for Speed game in which you play, and you can install pretty much mods and whatever you want and add to the actual games under the hood. TextEd is basically a texture editor. Now, you'll have to use a combination of 1, 2, or all 3 of these tools in order to even use stuff such as, well, for example, mods. These are the mods in which I have installed for Need for Speed Most Wanted, except the Xbox 360 stuff, I have yet to do that on my machine. Or you could do stuff for Carbon. These are the mods in which I decided to use for Carbon, including Z-Menu, for example, which is a trainer, the widescreen fix, which is pretty obvious, the extra options, which is also extra options for the game, the HUD adapter, auto sculpt rims, all of this I went ahead and installed onto my installation of Need for Speed Carbon, which, by the way, some of the older Need for Speed games, all the way down to Need for Speed 1, those are considered to be abandonware. If it's not on a digital distribution store and is not being sold anymore, that is considered abandonware. You can download it. Just be safe about it. Not that we condone any sort of piracy if something is still on sale. So keep that in mind. Anyway, with that, you can just add the mods. Now, once you get into getting into modding, you will need to read the README files and know the instructions. For example, if I do the unlimiter, for example, we have here the README. Read the README because it will tell you how to install these modifications. That is something to keep in mind as well. Or, if it's simple enough, you can literally just drag and drop. Literally just drag and drop. That's all you have to do for most of these games. Now, if you actually want to add these games onto Lutris, well, go ahead and get into Lutris. I use it for whenever I happen to do anything, and I mean anything, in terms of gaming. These are all the games I currently have installed onto Lutris. Some of them, I've got them through Steam. some through GOG, some through itch, all that, right? Some of them are free open source software, most of them are proprietary. I do play proprietary games, by the way, but that is completely different. Anyway, for example, you can go into the top here, install locally added game. Now, I am going to go into configure for these two games, for I use just regular Wine staging. I use the staging version of Wine HQ, which is the best version you can go for. But that said, I'm actually out of time for today's short video. Thank you, and good night.